Good evening, students. I hope you all must be keeping safe and happy at your home. Looking at this present condition of COVID-19, physical classes conduction is not possible at all at this particular moment of time. So we have decided to start your online classes. So from today we will be having our online sessions as well. The first session that I am going to cover is related to the concept of pricing. As we all know that pricing is one of the element of the marketing mix. Now, what is price? Price is the monetary value of any product or service which a marketer provides to the customer. Now, this pricing could be in the form of rent that we pay. It could be in the form of any product or service that we buy. Earlier there was a system which was called as a barter system. This system is also prevailing in today's scenario but not at a much higher rate. So as far as today's market is concerned, when we talk about price, we always compare this price with the monetary value of any product or service. Now when we talk about price, it is said to be the most flexible element of the marketing mix, because as you all must be remembering that there are 4 P's that we study in marketing mix: product, price, place and promotion. Now out of these 4 P's, when we talk about product or when we talk about place, when we talk about promotion, these are the 3 elements of the marketing mix wherein the marketer needs to incur some kind of the money. But when we talk about price, price is the only element which generates revenue for the marketer. And this revenue ultimately helps a marketer to further improvise the product or to further improve or launch some new products in the market. Now, when a marketer decides the price of any product or service, there are certain things that needs to be taken into consideration, wherein the most important element comes as the objectives that an organization wants to focus upon. Now, different organizations keep in view different kinds of the objectives which they want to achieve while selling any kind of the product or service in the market. Like for example, when we talk about pricing objectives, some marketer tries to have their market share for a longer period of time. Now, if they want to have this market share for a longer period of time, they keep the price of the product to a minimal level, wherein they want to cater the needs of more and more segments of the customers. Another way is that if you want to earn profit in a shorter period of time, then in that case the marketer can go for skimming pricing strategy, wherein the marketer keeps the price of its product or service at a higher level so that the needs of a specific, or we can say luxury segment, could be catered. The another objective of any organization could be just a market survival. Means you just want to have your brand image in the market, or you just want your customer to remember your product or your company's name. Now if you want to achieve this particular objective, you need not to focus on gaining more profit or keeping the price of your product to a much higher level as compared to what we do in case of skimming pricing objective or strategy. So a marketer could have the price at a higher level, or he can keep the price to a minimal level, or if he wants to just have the market survival, then he just want to have return on his investment. So keeping in view these particular primary objectives that an organization can have, there are certain factors that affect the pricing of any product or service. Now, when we talk about factors, we all know that pricing is the most flexible element, as I said, because depending on the market conditions, the marketer can fluctuate the price of its product. Like for example, if you talk about any special season, for example, if you talk about Diwali, In case of Diwali, as we all know, India is a country where all festivals are celebrated with major enthusiasm. So, in that particular case, the marketer offers different kinds of the promotional offers or schemes in order to cater the needs of the customers, or we can say in order to attract more and more customers. Because in festival season, we Indians do more and more kind of the shopping. So, looking into these parameters, there are certain factors that ultimately affect the price of any product or service. Now, we will study these factors under two major headings. One involves the internal environment, another one involves the external environment, or we can say the external factors that affect the price of the product directly or indirectly. Now, as far as the internal environment is concerned, the most important factor is, as I said, the company's objectives. Now, whatever the objective is being decided by any company or organization, based on that, the company decides the price of the product. For example, as I said, in some cases, the company keeps the price of its product to a higher level because the major focus in that particular point of time is to cater the needs of those customers which belongs to the luxury segment, or to cater the needs of those customers who carry this perception that high price stands for high quality. So this could be one of the internal element which we can say that the company's objectives. Another objective, as I said, that in some cases the companies goes for market penetration strategy. In that case, the company keeps the price of its product lower. For example, in today's environment, if I want to introduce some product in the rural market, I cannot keep the price of that product to a higher level because the rural customers' needs are different. They are not keen to spend much amount in buying a specific product. So depending on their requirement, what the companies are doing nowadays, especially if I talk about FMCG or the fast moving consumer goods company, they are making their product in a smaller packaging which can be targeted to the rural customer. Now when we change the packaging of the product, but obvious the price of the product will be changed. So one of the important element that forms a part of internal environment in case of pricing is the company's objective. The another important element that should be kept into consideration in case of pricing a product should be the cost. Now, what kind of costs are involved when a marketer keeps the price of its product? For example, the manufacturing cost, the distribution cost, the promotion cost. So, whenever the price of any product is decided, the cost needs to be considered in a very closer manner, because ultimately any marketer doesn't want to make his business to go under loss. So the bare minimum cost that is being incurred in manufacturing or marketing or distribution, or we can say in the promotion of any product, needs to be covered when pricing a product. Another important element that forms a part of the internal environment in case of pricing a product is your infrastructure. If you are having good technology, if you are having good machinery, then definitely you can produce good quality products in a lesser period of time. So, if you are able to produce the product in bulk, then definitely you would price the product accordingly. So, these are the three major things that need to be considered when we talk about internal environment for pricing the product. Now we come to the another element or the factor that is known as external environment. Now, what do we mean by this external environment? External environment is nothing but the marketing environment which affects directly or indirectly on the price of the product. For example, the external environment covers the government policies. Now, as and when these government policies keeps on changing, we have to price the product accordingly. For example, when we go to any petrol pump for filling up the fuel, We never negotiate with that particular person who is there on the petrol pump that भैया ये 75 rupees लीटर आप क्यों दे रहे हो, or why you are giving the petrol in 80 rupees per liter. Why? Because the price of the petrol is decided by the government. A common man cannot negotiate in that particular pricing aspect. So, one aspect or one factor that comes into the external environment or the external factor that affects the price is the government policies. Another factor we can talk about the competitors who are there in the market, because as we all know that in today's marketing environment the competition is becoming very intense. May it be any product category, may it be automobiles, may it be FMCG, may it be even electronics. The market is so much competitive that if you cannot keep the price of your product as compared to the competitor, then definitely customer would not be interested in buying your product. So, the another important element that we talked about is the competition. The third element that forms a part of external factor that could affect the price of the product is the supplier or the distributor, who is ultimately making your product available to the customer. The rate at which the marketer gets the raw materials, definitely that affects the price of a product. Another thing is the level or the channel of the distribution that you are following for making your product available to the customer also affects the price of the product. For example, we are seeing that nowadays companies are using multiple channels for promoting their product. So if means, what do we mean by this multiple channel? Means the product is available at a particular outlet and the product is available through online delivery as well. So nowadays the customer is more interested in buying the product through online options. The reason being that he gets more promotional offers, more discounts when we talk about online factor. So it also affects your price of the product, because if you are offering the product through online system, definitely your infrastructure cost will be minimized. Now if your infrastructure cost would be minimized, you would be requiring less number of hands to make your product available to the ultimate customer, then definitely it has an impact on the cost, whereby leading to the impact on the price of the product. Similar product if you are making available at a particular distribution channel, then what will happen? That is also going to affect the price, because you are going to invest more cost in the infrastructure, you need to employ more number of people, you need to have more expenses incurred in making the product available to the customer. So the kind of the distribution channel that is being adopted by the company also affects the price of the product. So when we talk about external factors, we have taken into consideration the most important element, that is the government rules and regulations, or we can say the government policy. Another element we talked about is the competition. Third element we talked about is the distribution channels that the company is adopting for making its product available to the customer. So before finalizing the price of any product, the company takes into consideration some of these internal as well as external factors that ultimately helps the company to finalize the price of any product or service. So till now we talked about what is price. We have also talked about what are the various objectives that are taken into consideration before finally deciding the price of any product or service. And thirdly, we also spoke about the various factors that affect the price of any product or service, because it is not possible for a marketer to directly price a product without considering any internal or external environment. So he has to have a base on the different factors that could affect the price, because ultimately any marketer's aim is to have a goodwill in the market, to have market share in the market, or to have such kind of the pricing strategy which could ultimately help in attracting more and more customers towards buying your product. So I hope these three concepts are clear to you. That is, what is price, what are the various pricing objectives, and the factors that govern the price of any product or service. Now we'll talk about the procedure of pricing. Now what do we mean by this term procedure of pricing? Procedure means what are the various steps that need to be considered by the marketer or that are taken into consideration by the marketer before finalizing the price of any product or service. Now this procedure of pricing involves various steps. So we will discuss these steps one by one. The various steps that form a part of procedure of pricing involves, number one is selecting the pricing objective. Then second is determining demand. Third step is estimating cost. Fourth is analyzing competitors' prices, cost, price and offers. Fifth step is selecting a pricing method. And finally, the sixth and the last step is selecting the final price. So these 6 steps together, they form a part of procedure of pricing. Now we'll discuss these steps one by one. We start with the first step. Now what is the first step? The first step is selecting the pricing objective. Now as we discussed earlier that different companies decide different kind of the objectives that they want to achieve with the help of pricing any product or service. Now what are the various objectives that I talked about recently? It could be to earn maximum current profit. It could be to earn maximum market share. It could be to have a particular price quality leadership in the market. Because as I discussed earlier or as I informed you earlier, there is certain section of the society wherein the people carry this perception that high price stands for high quality. But it is not always so, right? So companies take into consideration that price quality leadership should be maintained before pricing any product. Or another objective could be, as I said, it could just be to have survival in the market. So out of these 4 or 5 objectives, the company decides any 1 or 2 objectives on the basis of which the price of the product could be initiated, right? So this is the first step, that is selecting the pricing objective. Now we come to the second step, that is determining demand. Now when we talk about determining demand, what is demand? Now demand is nothing but, we can say, the requirement of a particular product in the market. Now when we talk about requirement, the requirement ultimately affects that particular demand of the product. Now 2 types of demands are there. One is known as elastic demand, one is known as inelastic demand. Now we talk about this. What do we mean by this term elastic and inelastic demand? Inelastic demand is a kind of the demand wherein if a marketer increases the price of its product a little bit, then it does not have any impact on the sales of its product. Is it clear? What did I say? If a marketer increases the price of its product a little bit, for example, I am selling my product at rupees 100 per unit, but now I have increased the price of the product to rupees 105. Right? Now, by increasing this price from 100 to 105, whether the demand of my product, whether the sale of my product is being affected in the market or not. If the sale is not affected, that means I am talking about inelastic demand, means just improving, just increasing just having a very small change in the price of the product, it is not affecting the customer preferences. So such kind of demand is known as inelastic demand. So I hope the concept of inelastic demand is clear to you, right? Now another type of demand pattern is called the elastic demand. Now what do we mean by this term elastic demand? Suppose if I am increasing the price of my product from 100 rupees to 150 rupees per unit. definitely there is a big gap that I have made into consideration. Definitely it is going to affect the demand of my product in the market. Now how it is possible? I am buying my product at rupees 100 and now I am buying that particular same product at rupees 150. Definitely it is going to affect the customer preference, right? So such kind of demand is called as the elastic demand. So the second step that need to be considered before finalizing the price of any product is determining demand. Now once you have decided that how much price range you want to keep or you want to have in pricing the product, then definitely we move on to the third step. That is, what is the third step? The third step is estimating cost, right? Now as I said earlier that there are different kinds of the cost that are being incurred in manufacturing, that are being incurred in distributing the product, that is being also incurred in promoting the product in the market, right? So there are different types of the costs you all must be familiar with, that is fixed cost, variable cost and average cost. So company considers all these different kinds of the cost that are being incurred in manufacturing, distributing or promoting the product in the market, right? After incurring or after deciding or after we can say studying different kinds of the costs that are being incurred by the company, the another step or we come to the fourth step, that is analyzing competitors' cost, price and offers. Now as I said earlier that today's market is a very competitive market. If you will not keep an eye on what the competitor is doing, what is the pricing strategy that the competitor is following, then definitely you will not be able to achieve your much market share in the market. The reason being, today's customer is very much a literate customer. He is very much aware about what is going on in the market. So you have to keep the price of the product in such a manner which is very close to the competition. Getting my point? Because if you keep the price of your product very high with respect to the competition, then the customer will not show any interest in buying your product. Another thing, if you will keep the price of the product to very low as compared to the competitor, then again the customer will not be showing any interest in buying your product. The reason being, he will think that because you have kept the price of the product lower as compared to the competitor, means you are compromising somewhere on the quality of the product. So the quality conscious customers would not be interested in again buying your product. Now what to do? So in order to have more and more customers interest towards your product, what you need to do then? You need to keep the price of the product very close to your competitor, and such a price would ultimately help in making your customer attracted towards your product, because now the customer would be thinking that yes, if I am buying some product since last 5 years of the same company, and if that company is making or is making me available the same kind of the product at the competitive price which the competitor is also offering, then definitely I won't be shifting my brand preference to any other company, right? So what should be done? The price of the product should be kept very close to the competitor so that the customer would not shift his brand preference. I hope this step is clear, right? Now we talk about the fifth step, which is a part of procedure of pricing. Now what was the fifth step? The fifth step talks about selecting a pricing method. There are different types of the pricing methods that are available in the market, out of which, depending again on the company's objective, the company decides which method should be chosen for pricing the product or service. But before further talking about now what are the different methods for pricing a product, there is a model which is called the 3C's model of price setting. So a marketer needs to consider this 3C's model of price setting before finalizing that which method to be used for pricing any product or service. Now what are these 3C's? These 3C's include the cost, the competitors, and the most important, that is the customer's demand schedule, right? You need to consider customer's demand schedule as well before selecting any method for setting the price of your product. So what are these 3C's? What did I say? One is the customer demand schedule. Second one is the competitors' prices and offers. And third C is the cost that the marketer is incurring in manufacturing, distributing and promoting its product in the market. But you need to consider these 3C's in such a manner so as to keep the price in order to have customers retain to your company's product, or in order to attract certain new customers towards your products. Because if you set the price to a higher range, so there won't be no possible demand at this particular price, right? What did I say? After considering these 3C's, if you set the price to a higher range, then definitely there won't be possible demand from the customer's perspective. If there won't be demand, then definitely you won't be able to earn profit out of it, isn't it? But on the contrary, if you set the price to a very lower side, then of course you won't be able to generate profit out of this particular price. Now what to do? So in order to have such kind of the situation, the marketer needs to keep a price, as I said earlier, in such a manner so that these 3C's could be covered. That is customer demand schedule or the pattern, the competitor's price and the cost that you are incurring in manufacturing or in promoting or selling a product in the market, right? So before selecting a pricing method, a marketer needs to have a look on these 3C's model of price setting, and then he has to decide which kind of or what type of market this pricing method he has to choose, right? Now we will talk about what are the different pricing methods that are being available for a marketer to have or to set the price of its product or service. There are basically 5 or 6 price setting methods that are available for a marketer, out of which number 1 is the markup pricing method, second is the target return pricing method, third is perceived value pricing method, fourth is value pricing method, fifth is going rate pricing method, and sixth is the sealed bid pricing method, right? Now we will discuss these methods one by one. So the first method that is being available for marketer for pricing is called as the markup pricing method. Now as the name indicates, markup pricing, markup pricing method says that you fix up certain percentage of the profit that you want to earn out of selling particular units of the product in the market. For example, you have set that I need to earn only 10% profit from this particular product range. Then I have set my markup as 10%, right? So 10% is nothing but a standard markup that I have set which I want to earn from this particular product category, right? So I have opted for markup pricing method. The second pricing method is known as target return pricing method. Now if you see the name of this method, the name itself denotes the meaning of this method, that is target return pricing, right? You have estimated certain profit margin that yes, these are the costs that are being incurred for manufacturing or distributing or promoting the product in the market. Then accordingly, I want to cover these costs out of particular profit or out of particular product range, right? So I have set my target that I just want to have profit from these products, which could ultimately help me in getting the cost or getting the profit in such a manner which can help me in getting the return with respect to the cost that I have incurred in manufacturing or promoting or distributing the product. So this is known as target return pricing. The third pricing method that is available for a marketer is called perceived value pricing. This is again a very important method. The name of this method is being derived from the perception that a customer carries when he sees the price of any product or service, right? Like we discussed earlier, that there is a specific segment of the society which believes in the perception or which believes in this notion that high price means high quality. So the name of this method is derived from the customer's perception, and that is why this is known as perceived value pricing. Like for example, as we see that whatever the imported products are available in Indian market, they are priced very high. The reason being, we Indians carry this perception that if the product is being brought from another country, then definitely the quality of that product must be higher, and that is why we are able to pay high price for those products also. This is our perception, right? So this is known as perceived value pricing, wherein the marketer tries to understand first the customer's perception, and then accordingly he keeps the price of his products or service, right? Then we talk about the fourth method, that is known as value pricing. Now as far as this term value is concerned, you all must be remembering the meaning of this term value. What is value in terms of marketing? Value is nothing but benefits upon cost. Now what does it mean? Whenever a customer is incurring any cost in buying any product or service, what kind of benefits a customer is getting out of incurring a certain cost? So value pricing talks about to keep the price of product a little bit lower, or if not lower, then in such a manner wherein the customer gets the satisfaction that yes, whatever the amount I am investing in buying a particular product, I am able to get proper benefits in terms of functional or the emotional aspects of the product. Like for example, if I am buying a specific pen, a certain pen worth rupees 10. Now after incurring this 10 rupee on buying a particular pen, definitely what would be my expectation? My expectation would be that whenever I use that pen, then definitely the flow of that pen should go in a proper manner. So if I talk about benefits out of incurring rupees 10 in buying a product, means I should get satisfaction when I write with that particular pen, isn't it? So this method is called as value pricing, wherein whatever the price of the product or service you are keeping, the customer should get the benefits, or the customer should ultimately get the satisfaction after incurring a particular cost in buying a particular product or service, right? So these are the four methods. Now we'll talk about the fifth method, that is known as going rate pricing. Now you must be getting some meaning out of this term going rate. What do we mean by going rate? Going rate is nothing but it is very much related to the market trend that is going on in the market, right? As we discussed earlier also, that whenever customer buys any product, he always compares that product with the competitor's product, especially with respect to the price, isn't it? So going rate pricing talks about you need to consider the competitor's price as well. What is the competitor's price at this particular moment of time in the market, right? If I am having two products having similar quality, then definitely as a customer, I would be comparing the price of that particular product. If some marketer is giving me the product at rupees 9.5 and if the another marketer is giving me the same product at 10 rupees, then definitely as a customer, maximum my contribution would be what? That I would go for buying 9.5 rupee product. Why I should invest 50 paisa more, right? So going rate pricing talks about before finalizing the price of your product, you should first understand what the competitor is doing. What kind of a pricing strategy the competitor is following. Accordingly, you need to keep the price of your product or service, right? Now we talk about the sixth method of pricing, that talks about sealed bid pricing. Now sealed bid pricing is such a kind of the pricing method which is applicable only in case of government tenders. You must have heard about this term of tendering, right? What happens in case of tendering? Different suppliers quote the price differently, but they quote the price in a sealed envelope. Nobody knows that what the price is being quoted by the competitor. The day when all those envelopes are open, the supplier who is quoting the bare minimum price would get the tender, right? So this is known as sealed bid pricing, which is applicable in case of government tenders. So we have spoken about different kinds of the pricing methods. I hope all the methods are clear to you. We talked about basically 6 methods which are available in front of the marketer for pricing the product or service. Now out of these 6 methods, the marketer can choose any one method depending on what kind of the objective he wants to achieve from that particular product range. And as I said, before finalizing any of this pricing method, the marketer need to study the 3 C's model as well. What were those 3 C's? The customer's demand schedule, competitor's price and the cost. Looking into or considering into these 3 C's, you have to keep the price of your product or service. So this covers the 5th step of procedure of pricing, that is selecting a pricing method. Now the marketer has selected a particular pricing method for pricing a product. Then we talk about the last step of procedure of pricing, that is selecting the final price. Now before selecting the final price, again the marketer needs to have consideration into 2-3 things. Number 1 is what kind of psychological effect this particular pricing has on customer's mind or in building the brand image of its product in the market. This is one aspect. Another aspect is influence of other marketing mix elements on price. Third aspect is what are ultimately the company's pricing policies, right? So the final step what we discussed is selecting the final price. Now as I said, before selecting the final price, again the marketer needs to consider needs to consider the various other elements, like as I said, psychological pricing, or the influence of other marketing mix elements, or the company's pricing policies. So today we discussed about, these are the 6 steps that we discussed, which are being taken into consideration by the marketer for pricing any product or service. So procedure of pricing, I explained you all the 6 steps that forms a part of procedure of pricing. So today we discussed about the topic, that is pricing, wherein we have taken into consideration what is price, then what are the pricing objectives, then we also spoke about the factors that affect the price of any product or service, and lastly I told you the procedure of pricing. Now another thing is left in case of this pricing, that is price adaptation, that we would be covering in the next session, right? Thank you very much.